Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Gaur Premanandi.
Shiva Chaitanya Prabhu and Janakira Prabhu, please come. Jai Guru Maharaj ki. Mike with those. Janakira Prabhu, come. Haribo. It was Janakiram Prabhu's birthday yesterday and Shiva Chaitanya Prabhu's. Come. So yesterday was Nirjala Ekadashi, so we are cutting the cake today. Gurma says big fast, like big fish, big fast. कुछ भी नहीं लिखा है किसमें? एक और आ जाता. Special ice cream cake. Come, then get it. Knife, please. Srichaitanya Prabhu, come here. Which one is the free one? This one. Yeah, come, then get it.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna to you Hare Krishna Hare Krishna to you
Jai Hari Bol. Now Srichaitanya.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna to you
Hari yeah, Guru is one color. There are some gifts for Guru Maharaj, dear servants who have been taking Guru Maharaj around. So from Guru Maharaj, we give small gifts to everybody. Start with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu, please come. I'm going to take pictures. Mahaprabhu ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Yes. Vishwamara Prabhu. Vishwamara Prabhu, come. Srichaitanya Prabhu. You know, this is for Srichaitanya Prabhu. Srichaitanya Prabhu. Jai, Hari Bol. Vishwamara Prabhu, come. Jai, Hari Bol. Hari Leela Prabhu. Anu. Srichaitanya Prabhu, come. Malaysian Jews just come all the way from Malaysia to serve Guru Maharaj. Gopal. Gopal, move in. Gopal. No. Come here. Right here. Jai. Hari Bol. Oh, mask it in. Jai. Kripasan go, please. Please come quick. This is 5 minutes. Everybody else, please be ready. Dr. Vinay is here. Arjun Chandra Prabhu, get ready. Gauranga Prabhu. Gauranga Prabhu. Jai. Hari Prabhu. Sorry. Abhay Charan Prabhu. Abhay Prabhu. Jai. Hari Prabhu. Thank you so much for your services. This is Councilor Madhya. This is for Advaita Chandra Prabhu. Special gift to you for Zuma. Okay, you take on your follow. Jai. Thank you so much for the service. Janaki Ram Prabhu. This is for his daughter. This is for his daughter. Thank you so much. Very how is your Ishwar Prabhu is not here. Haridas Prabhu? Okay, you take from the point. Last one. And you take on the Ishwar Prabhu. He's the lead. This is Ishwar Purima. Haridas. This is Haridas, this is Ishwar Purima. Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Thank you so all the servants. Don't speak Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna. Hare
Nama Nama Vishnupadaya
Krishna Prasaya
Srimate Bhaktivedanta
Swami Niti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Deve
Gauravani Pracharine
Nirvishesha Sanavati
Paschatya Desatharine
Sri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasati
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Hare Rama
Yadavaya Namaha
Oh Bhagavan
Shri Madhusudan
Mukha Karati Vajala
Pangalangayate Girim
Yati Patavan Mande
Shri Gurum Dinatarinam
Paramananda Vadavam
Shri Caitanya Ishwaram
Hariyo Sat Sat
Welcome. Today we are continuing from the compilation of the Sri Krishna Chaitanya book.
Haribo
Today's chapter is entitled Lord Chaitanya is seen lying unconscious amongst the cows, under the section The Bodily Transformations of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila, chapter 17, text 1. Translation to the verse, I am simply trying to write about Lord Gaurachandra's transcendental activities and spiritual madness, which are very wonderful and uncommon. I dare to write of them only because I have heard from the mouths of those who have personally seen the Lord's activities.
So Krishnadas Kaviraj heard directly from Sudhamara Maharaj and Raghunath Das Goswami.
So Krishnadas Kaviraj, he heard directly from Swarup Damodar Goswami Maharaj and Raghunath Das Goswami,
and other eyewitnesses.
and other 5 witnesses,
Eyewitness.
eyewitnesses. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Leela, chapter 17, text 3.
প্রভুর উন্মাদ ও প্রলাপ। এই মতো মহাপ্রভু রাত্রি দিবসে জন্মাদের চেষ্টা প্রলাপ করে প্রেমাবেশে।
Absorbed in ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu acted and talked like a madman day and night.
Krishna wanted to experience the prema of Radharani.
Krishna wanted to experience the prema of Radharani.
So he assumed the form of Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So he assumed the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
And he was putting himself in the mood of Radharani,
And he was putting himself in the mood of Radharani,
being in constant ecstasy day and night.
being in constant ecstasy day and night. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, chapter 17, text 4.
প্রভুরও তৎকালীন নিত্য সঙ্গী একদিন প্রভু স্বরূপ রামানন্দ সঙ্গে অর্ধরাত্রি গাইয়া গইয়াইলা কৃষ্ণ কথা রঙ্গে।
In the company of Swarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Roy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once passed half the night talking about the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
Just as Radharani would talk about Krishna to her friends.
Just
All
as
night.
Radharani would talk about Krishna to different friends all night,
Half the night.
half the night,
So that's why Lord Chaitanya talked to Sudamodar Maharaj and Ramananda Roy.
and so in this way, Lord Chaitanya talked to Swarup Damodar Maharaj and Ramananda Roy.
And Sudamodar Maharaj was incarnation of Lalita,
And Swarup Damodar Maharaj was an incarnation of Lalita,
and Ramananda Roy an incarnation of Visakha.
and Ramananda Roy was an incarnation of Vishaka. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, chapter 17, text 5.
স্বরূপের ভাবোপযোগী গান দ্বারা প্রভুর সেবন যবে যেই ভাব প্রভুর করয়ে উদয় ভাবানুরূপ গীত গায় স্বরূপ মহাশয়।
As they talked of Krishna, Swarup Damodar Goswami would sing songs exactly suitable for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu transcendental emotions.
Sudamodar Goswami, he was facilitating Lord Chaitanya's ecstatic moods.
Swarup Damodar Goswami, he was facilitating Lord Chaitanya's different moods, ecstatic moods.
And
Lord Chaitanya's
he
ecstatic
would sing
moods.
the appropriate songs
And he would sing the appropriate songs
suited to the transcendental mellows of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
suited to the transcendental mellows of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, chapter 17, text 6.
প্রভু প্রিয় গ্রন্থ হইতে রায়ের শ্লোক পাঠ বিদ্যাপতি চণ্ডীদাস শ্রী গীত গোবিন্দ ভাবানুরূপ শ্লোক পড়েন রায় রামানন্দ।
To complement the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Roy would quote verses from the books of Vidyapati and Chandidas, and especially from the Gita Govinda by Jayadev Goswami.
Ramananda Roy know all these books by heart,
Ramananda Roy knew all these books by heart,
and just listening to the transcendental ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya, he'd quote authoritative verses.
Just suited to the ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya, he would quote appropriate verses. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 17, text 7.
স্বয়ং প্রভুর শ্লোক পাঠ ও বিলাপোক্তি মধ্যে মধ্যে আপনে প্রভু শ্লোক পড়িয়া শ্লোকের অর্থ করেন প্রভু বিলাপ করিয়া।
At intervals, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would also recite a verse. Then, in great lamentation, he would explain it.
Lord Chaitanya, in his ecstasy, he would recite verses and talk about them as a commandment,
So, Lord
like
Chaitanya,
commandment.
in his ecstasies, he would quote verses and talk about them like a madman. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 17, text 8.
প্রভুর শয়নান্তরে উভয়ের প্রস্থান এই মতে নানাভাবে অর্ধরাত্রি হইল গোসাইরে শয়ন করাই দুহে ঘরে গেল।
In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed half the night experiencing varieties of emotions. Finally, after making the Lord lie down on his bed, Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy returned to their homes.
Lord Chaitanya would be immersed in ecstatic emotions,
So Lord Chaitanya would be immersed in ecstatic emotions,
expressing great love for Lord Krishna
expressing great love for Lord Krishna
and the mood of Radharani.
in the mood of Radharani.
And thus, he'd spend half the night.
And thus he would spend half the night.
And so Damodar and the Rai would assist him.
And Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy would assist him.
And when they laid the Lord down and they took rest, then they retired.
And when they laid the Lord down and he took rest, then they retired. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita until Lila, chapter 17, text 9.
প্রভুর উচ্চ নাম সংকীর্তন গম্ভীরার দ্বারে গোবিন্দ করিলা শয়ন সবরাত্রি প্রভু করেন উচ্চ সংকীর্তন।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal servant, Govinda, lay down at the door of his room, and the Lord very loudly chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra all night.
Since the Lord and Holy Name are not different, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be associating with Krishna all through the night.
So, since the Lord and the holy name are non-different, then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be associating with the Lord all night. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita until Lila, chapter 17, text 10.
প্রভুর দিব্যোন্মাদ আচম্বিতে শুনেন প্রভু কৃষ্ণে বেণুগান ভাবাবেশে প্রভু তাহা করিলা প্রয়াণ।
Suddenly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the vibration of Krishna's flute. Then, in ecstasy, he began to depart to see Lord Krishna.
He would hear Krishna's flute, and the flute would enchant his mind.
So he would hear Krishna's flute, and the flute would change his mind, enchant his mind. The flute would enchant his mind.
And he would immediately go to where he thought the flute was played.
And he would immediately go to where he thought the flute was being played. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Anjalila, chapter 17, text 11.
তিনদারে কপাট ওইছে আছে তো লাগিয়া ভাবাবেশে প্রভু গেলা বাহির হইয়া।
All three doors were fastened as usual, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in great ecstasy, nevertheless got out of the room and left the house.
Although the room was locked and for an ordinary person was impossible to leave.
Although the room was locked, and for an ordinary person it would be impossible to leave,
Somehow or another, Lord Chaitanya left the room and went out to
somehow,
find Krishna.
somehow or other, Lord Chaitanya left the room and went out to find Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Anjalila, chapter 17, text 12.
সিংহদ্বার দক্ষিণে আছে তৈলঙ্গী গাভীগণ তাহা যাই পড়িলা প্রভু ইয়া অচেতন।
He went to a cowshed on the southern side of the Simhadwara. There the Lord fell down unconscious among cows from the district of Tailanga.
Singadwara, the main entrance to the Jagannath Puri temple,
The Sinhadwara is the main entrance to the Jagannath Puri temple,
facing the eastern side.
facing the eastern side.
And the Lord, he went into the cow barn and fell unconscious with the cows.
So the Lord, he went into the cow barn with the cows and fell unconscious with the cows.
He was in such ecstasy that he could go anywhere.
I mean, he was in such ecstasy that he would go anywhere. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila, chapter 17, text 13.
প্রভুর শব্দ না শুনিয়া সকলের প্রভু অন্বেষণ ও প্রাপ্তি। এথা গোবিন্দ মহাপ্রভুর শব্দ না পাইয়া স্বরূপেরে বলাইল কপাট খুলিয়া।
Meanwhile, not hearing any sound from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Govinda immediately sent for Swarup Damodar and opened the doors.
Now the doors of Lord Chaitanya's room were locked.
So the doors of Lord Chaitanya's room were locked.
Somehow, Lord Chaitanya, he left.
Somehow Lord Chaitanya, he left.
This time, as a child, when he told Vasudeva to take him to Vrindavan,
So just as like when he was a child, he told Vasudeva to take him to Vrindavan,
and lay him down by Yasoda,
and he went
and lay him
and
down.
lay him down by Yashoda.
So the doors automatically open.
And thus the doors automatically opened.
So similarly, when Lord Chaitanya wanted to leave, no door that would stop him.
So similarly, when Lord Chaitanya wanted to leave, there's nothing that could stop him. There are no doors that could stop him. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila, chapter 17, text 14.
তবে স্বরূপ গোসাই সঙ্গে লইয়া ভক্তগণ দুই দেউঠি জ্বালিয়া করেন প্রভুর অন্বেষণ।
Then Swarup Damodar Goswami lit a torch and went out with all the devotees to search for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
500 years ago, there was no such thing as flashlights.
500 years ago, there was no such thing as flashlights.
So literally, they lit a torch, and it was flaming and giving light.
So literally, they lit a torch and it was flaming and giving light. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila, chapter 17, text 15.
ইতি উতি অন্বেষিয়া সিংহদ্বারে গেলা গাভীগণ মধ্যে যাই প্রভুরে পাইলা।
After searching here and there, they finally came to the cowshed near the Simhadwara. There they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lying unconscious among the cows.
Krishna is known for his love of the cows.
Krishna is known for his love of the cows.
And part of his name is Goraksha, that he protects the cows.
And part of his name is known as Goraksha, that he protects the cows.
And Govinda, he lived in the Govardhan Hill, and he gave protection to all the cows and villagers
As,
all in down.
as Govinda, he lifted the Govardhan hill and gave protection to all the cows and villagers of Vrindavan.
Here at Jagannath 30, he somehow was in the cow shed, unconscious.
Here in Jagannath Puri, he was somehow in the cow shed, unconscious. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 17, text 16.
প্রভুর অবস্থা পেটের ভিতর হস্তপদ কুর্মের আকার মুখে ফেন পুলকাঙ্গ নেত্রে অশ্রুধার।
His arms and legs had entered the trunk of his body, exactly like those of a tortoise. His mouth was foaming, there were eruptions on his body, and tears flowed from his eyes.
So this transformation of Lord Chaitanya was truly wonderful and extraordinary.
So, this transformation of Lord Chaitanya was simply wonderful and extraordinary
That all his arms and legs
of his
had
body.
entered into his body,
That all his arms and legs had entered into his body
like a tortoise.
like a tortoise,
And he was foaming at the mouth,
and he was foaming at the mouth,
tears were coming from his eyes.
and tears were coming from his eyes.
He was in total ecstasy.
He was in total ecstasy. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya-lila, chapter 17, text 17.
অচেতন পড়িয়াছেন যেন কুম্বাণ্ড ফল কুষ্মাণ্ড ফল বাহিরে বাহিরে জরিমা অন্তরে আনন্দ বিত্তল।
As the Lord lay there unconscious, his body resembled a large pumpkin. Externally, he was completely inert, but within, he felt overwhelming transcendental bliss.
These extreme manifestations are symptom of Mahabhav.
These extreme manifestations are symptoms of Mahabhav,
The highest level of Krishna Prema,
the highest level of Krishna Prema,
pure ecstatic love for Lord Krishna.
pure ecstatic love for Lord Krishna.
And so his consciousness was feeling transcendental bliss, unexplainable.
So his consciousness was feeling transcendental bliss, unexplainable. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya-lila, chapter 17, text 18.
গাভী সব চৈদিকে সুরকে প্রভুর শ্রীঅঙ্গে দূর কইলে নাহি ছাড়ে প্রভুর শ্রীঅঙ্গ সঙ্গে সঙ্গ শ্রী অঙ্গ সঙ্গ
All the cows around the Lord were sniffing his transcendental body. When the devotees tried to check them, they refused to give up their association with the transcendental body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
In the cause by sniffing and licking the body of Lord Chaitanya
Even the
Mahaprabhu,
cows, by sniffing and licking the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
they were experiencing ecstasy.
they were experiencing ecstasy.
And they didn't want to give up the association of Chaitanya
And
Mahaprabhu.
they didn't want to give up the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Anjalila, chapter 17, text 19.
প্রভুর চৈতন্য সম্পাদনে বহু যত্ন ও গৃহে আনয়ন অনেক করিলা যত্ন না হয় চেতন প্রভুরে উঠাইয়া ঘরে আনিলা ভক্তগণ
The devotees tried to rouse the Lord by various means, but his consciousness did not return. Therefore, they all lifted him and brought him back home.
So the devotees of Lord Chaitanya were doing this personal confidential service.
So the devotees of Lord Chaitanya were doing this confidential personal service.
And Lord Gauranga, he was in this state of extreme transcendental bliss.
And Lord Gauranga, he was in this state of extreme transcendental bliss.
It could not be aroused.
It could not be aroused. Thus ends the chapter entitled Lord Chaitanya is seen lying unconscious amongst the cows, among the cows, under the section The Transcendental Madness of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
High Ball.
Hari Bol!
So, in this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is experiencing the transcendental madness, the ecstatic symptoms
So in this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is experiencing the transcendental madness and experiencing ecstatic symptoms
of Radharani and her love for Lord Krishna.
of Radharani in her love for Lord Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
There's no way to really explain these ecstasies.
There's really no way to explain these ecstasies.
It's just that you can hear and digest beyond description.
It's just that you can explain and digest, they're beyond description.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone on online?
Is there anyone online? We're not connected on Zoom, not today.
All right, two questions.
All right, two questions. One
from
from the men, one from the ladies.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, thank you for the class. My question is like a bit different from what we talked about, but basically, how are we supposed to?
My question is a bit different from what we talked about.
How are we supposed to like balance our school life and like sadhana? Because some people say that you should focus on career and like do sadhana later.
So
Like-
my question is that how can you focus on what is it?
School life,
School
like
life and
college.
sadhana, because some people say you can focus on your career and then later on do your sadhana and all that.
If you take your studies as your service to Lord Krishna,
If you take your studies as your service to Lord Krishna,
that you want to use this education to serve Krishna,
that you want to use this education to serve Krishna,
and then there's no difference.
then there is no difference.
And just like we have doctors to study medicine, they have to go through various training.
So just like we have doctors who have to go through various training,
And once they're trained as a doctor, they serve devotees,
so once they're trained as a doctor, they serve devotees.
and if they get when they get money, they use some of that to serve Krishna.
And when they get money, they use some of that to serve Krishna.
And this way, the learning you're doing, you can see it as a Krishna Seva.
And so, so like this, the learning that you're doing, you can see it as Krishna's seva.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
I have a general question, but that's only if no one else has. Dr. Vinay Gaurachanda, our doctor, who has a question.
I can ask a question from here.
People online.
Oh, there's people online. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for your wonderful class. I have one question about animals.
I have one question about animals.
Animals.
There is a lot of references to cows experiencing transcendental bliss in the chapter you just spoke of.
So there's a lot of evidence here. We see how the cows are experiencing transcendental bliss in association. The cows are also experiencing transcendental bliss in the association of Lord Caitanya, as we can see in this chapter.
In addition to that, in previous chapters, it was different tigers, different animals that are experiencing transcendental bliss.
In previous chapters, it's talking about different animals too, like the tigers and the trees too.
Yes,
Transcendental bliss they're experiencing.
this may be a silly question, but the question is are we able to see how are we able to experience that a dog or a cat or a cow is experiencing transcendental bliss
So he's
today? It's a two-part question.
just repeating exactly what he's saying. He said, maybe silly question, but I'd like to ask that how are we able to see that a dog or some other animals, they're experiencing this transcendental bliss?
Today, and secondly, what more importantly is what was the importance of bringing in that a cow licks Caitanya Mahaprabhu and experiences transcendental bliss?
Secondly, is what is the importance of bringing in this chapter, for example, that a cow is also experiencing this transcendental bliss?
And thirdly, there was a mention previously in one of your previous lectures of a dog that was liberated by Caitanya Mahaprabhu also.
And thirdly, there was also mentioned a dog being liberated, like that you mentioned. There was also a dog who was liberated.
His puppy.
In previous chapters. His puppy.
Puppy as Nimai Pandit was a child. There's a motif here that goes on throughout all of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It seems to be important because it
There's
flows.
a motif here. It seems that it's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's like flowing.
Can you please comment on it?
Could you please comment on that?
There are 5 types of rasa,
There are 5 types of rasas.
and the Santa
Rasa.
which is just appreciating Krishna, is I consider as a neutral rasa.
So there's the Shanta rasa, which is just considered as like appreciating Lord Krishna, which is like a neutral rasa.
A neutral rasa.
Neutral rasa.
And so some animals, trees, they would have this Santa rasa with Krishna.
So certain animals, trees, they would have this Shanta rasa for Krishna.
They didn't directly do any service.
They didn't directly do any service,
What they were facilitating a Lord's pastimes,
but they were facilitating the Lord's pastimes.
so they could also feel ecstasy.
So they can also feel ecstasy.
Uh, that experience of ecstasy is possible
Their experience of ecstasy is possible
because they're people,
because they are people.
just like human beings have a more developed consciousness.
Just like the human beings, they have more developed consciousness,
What animals, they also have consciousness.
but animals, they also have consciousness.
I would drive out from Calcutta to Mayapur early in the morning,
I would drive out from Calcutta to Mayapur early in the morning,
and through a certain part of the city, they were, I don't know, butchering or something.
so through a
Pigs.
certain part, and so through a certain part of the city, I saw that they were butchering something like pigs.
And you'd hear the pigs crying out and making horrible sounds.
And you hear the pigs crying out, making horrible sounds.
So we think animals don't have consciousness.
I mean, we think animals don't have consciousness.
We see dogs, shopkeepers, sometimes tea wallahs pour hot water on the dogs.
Okay, so we see dogs, and sometimes at the tea stalls, the shopkeepers, they pour hot water on them.
They go screaming and running away.
And they go screaming and running away.
They have senses.
I mean, they have senses.
They have consciousness.
They have consciousness.
You were once an animal,
We were once an animal,
and then we take birth, and finally reach human life.
and then we take rebirth, and finally we reach human life.
So these animals, it's very rare they're in the right place at the right time.
I mean, so these animals, it's very rare that they are in the right place at the right time.
And they get the mercy of Lord Caitanya.
And they get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya.
But a human being,
But human beings,
they can make a choice.
they can make a choice.
But I want to get the mercy of Lord Caitanya.
I want to get the mercy
I
of Lord
want to chant
Chaitanya.
Hare Krishna.
I want to chant Hare Krishna.
But animals, they don't really have much free will.
But animals, they don't really have much free will.
But they also somehow or other get the mercy.
But the animals, they somehow or other also get the mercy.
And that's why it says if we chant loudly, animals, trees, insects,
That's why it is said that if we chant loudly, animals, trees, insects,
other living entities,
other living entities,
nearby, they can also hear the holy names.
They are alive. They could also hear our holy names. They get liberated. They get the benefit. Guru Maharaj,
Why are you so surprised?
but why are you so surprised?
You think animals are just walking hamburgers?
Do you think animals are just you think animals are just walking hamburgers?
I'm sorry, Gujarat, for the question. I'm not surprised. I'm just really interested in the
McDonald's and other things are the happy cow.
McDonald's and others, they have like pictures of a happy cow.
I'm not happy when they're
They're not happy
slaughtering
with
them.
the slaughtering.
They're happy when they're protected.
They're happy when they're protected.
That's why Krishna, he done that he practiced Goraksha.
That's why Krishna, he's known as he practiced Goraksha. He was just commenting that he was just interested how he sees even the animals getting the mercy.
Oh,
in specific, if we were to put a cow farm together, then they should be exposed to constant chanting.
So in specific, if we put together a cow farm, then they should also be exposed to the chanting constantly.
why not?
Why not?
Although they're wrong to Krishna
You can offer their milk to Krishna
and protect them that they don't get sold to the slaughterhouse.
and protect them so that they don't get sold to the slaughterhouse.
Then they can take the milk from protected cows.
So then we can take the milk from protected cows. Guru Maharaj, there's so many questions online too, so I don't know what to say.
It's too late.
It's too late. It's 10:44, 34
We'll answer
seconds.
tomorrow.
We'll answer tomorrow. Hare Krishna. So, devotees, if you'd like a blessing from Guru Maharaj, from the Jagannath stick, all the way from Puri, men on the left side and ladies on the right, please come forward. Hare Bo. Guru Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. He's read Bhagavad Gita 20 times. He's my uncle. He's read Gita 20 times. Very good. Guru Maharaj, these are mangoes for you. Big ones, like my food. Remember the big size ones? Wow. And there's some packaging there. Look, says, Jai Shri Prabhupada. The horse is awesome. Yes. They get here because Karma is on top of the horse. He's getting excited too. Very much so.
So Srila Prabhupada's on top of the horse?
Just as long as they bring me back away, know it is peace to the truth.